Ebusia for yanto akasa mo so na edumu remu aye the New Patriotic Party na semfofra abeto aye MPP amanyo ko so no kokroko ni say aye encha bia na beto odwa say aye honorable Akompreko Kennedy Akompreko ohini Japan na oya asensetra person so man se bedwani sisi anu wotwemu ekọ retirement the free aye MP no emu na papa yi nsem bi beto odwa kire say aye NDC for bo papa yi pa sanka onkotena aye MPP for aye omo secret meeting mu na asem bi o madwiri ku bia konfa mbra aye NDC for no mo so fa ho efanye strategize na omo so entimi fa hwe so ni enwini aye ga na akonya konkon aba aye afi 2028 ye dey ni na wamu fofi anto ata nyame a ompe bone be for say to book wato kwase anya nyankopon ye dey ehwe oto we dey wa hwe de to ahweniti aka ho ni abeto adwa ni say MPP for ache no say obaba be yesa adwuma no de ama NDC for wamu ama mapam no twandi e dey free NDC amanyokom ena papa yi ababa to abonten a dey echopa de maye ma pani a wotwem be fe no eya nana adona gogu for say osere na wiase say akola sabi ojusogu amame na so opepa no twantontwe etu asere na ofa nche no sanje no waye NDC MPP amanyokom mo na sisi ade NDC for omayi ni bako ahye nsa.
His offense was that on his Facebook page he pasted these photographs of President Mahama, Felix Kwatiofosu, and Sam George and dripped them in LGBT colors.
Yes.
That was the offense.
That was the offense. And Abronye...
What's the title of the offense? What's the name of the offense?
The name of the offense is that he has published false news over electronic media contrary to Section 76 of...
false news.
False news. Let me read.
False news.
Yes. Let me.
This is more like cartooning. Does it not go into the area of cartooning where the high courts in England have held that you can see?
Imagine the number of people who would have been arrested under President Akufo-Addo's era.
That's the point.
President Akufo-Addo was caricatured. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia was caricatured. At some point, they did cartoons of Dr. Bawumia holding pork.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. But yesterday, they were granted bail by the Criminal Investigations Department of the Ghana Police Service.
Mm-hmm. Both of them?
Both of them were granted bail.
What was Abronye's offense? That he commented on those photos or what?
No, Abronye called a judge who is adjudicating a matter as being political.
Okay.
Abronye,
Some matter. He described the judge as being political.
Okay. So yesterday they were given bail. But this is where your viewers need to appreciate. In a criminal matter, the person who is best placed to determine whether or not you are entitled to bail is the investigator.
Not a judge?
Wait. At the point of investigations, the investigator comes to the conclusion that you were a flight risk. And so he has to detain you. You are not entitled to bail. The investigator comes to the conclusion that you are likely to interfere with his investigations if you are bailed. The investigator may also come to the conclusion that for your own personal safety, in the course of the investigations, you should be held by the police in custody. So the investigator at that point does all those assessments. And so yesterday, the investigator did all those assessments and then concluded that they should be entitled to bail. They were given bail and then were required to report to the police station today at 10 o'clock. Baba Amando got there at 8 a.m., 2 hours ahead of the scheduled time. Then he was told that he was being arraigned before court. So I was hanging out because I had a case at the Supreme Court today, in matter before the law laws today. So I was at the Supreme Court. Then I was called by the former Deputy Attorney General, Mr. Chiayebua, who is their lawyer in Sunyani, that he's being called by the investigators that they were bringing them to court. So I hung around. It wasn't until after 1 o'clock thereabout that they brought them to court. Then I was joined by the minority leader and the national organizer again.
As defense lawyers.
So when they eventually came and the case was called by the court, these are persons who already are on bail They have been given bail by the police.
Police inquiry bail.
Police inquiry bail.
It's different from a court bail.
It's different from a court bail.
Yeah. So they are subject to a court bail.
So they are subject to a court bail once the case is called in court. They are subject to a court bail. The moment the case was called, we went through the processes, and then an application for bail was made by Honorable Afenyo Akins, the minority leader. When he made the application for bail, the police in their response said that they were not opposed to the bail application and that they leave it in the hands of the court because it is the court's discretion to grant bail. Let's be mindful of this. The discretion of the court is exercised judiciously, and the grounds on which it is exercised are all stipulated by law. And we'll soon highlight that on your screens for viewers to see. But when the police has stated this, clearly the conflict is between the police and the accused person in this instance. And so ordinarily, when there's no opposition, the matter, they should be entitled to bail. After all, they were on bail and they reported to court. So where is the risk? Then the judge goes like, wouldn't you need him for investigations?
Asking the prosecution.
Asking the prosecution. Then the prosecution stands up to say, my lord, this part of the investigations will be handled by experts, forensic experts. So they will not be needed. Then,
but it's a
cyber-related offense. So they will not be needed. Then the judge goes again like, how long is the investigations going to take? Then he says between 1 to 2 weeks. Then the judge asks him, wouldn't you need him for the investigation? Then again. And then the police says, as and when we need him, we'll call him. Because the investigations are being done by forensic experts. Right? Oh. Then we sit down. The judge writes his ruling and says that the police says that investigations are ongoing and that he's remanding him.
And he couldn't say at the request of the police, at the request of the prosecution?
No.
Because the prosecution have not so requested?
No.
Oh, serious. So he was determined to keep him?
The question is this. That is why I was highlighting the importance of the investigator who determines whether he needs him for his investigations or not and passes it on to the prosecutor who then relays it to the judge. The investigator had concluded that he doesn't need him. And we were therefore not surprised that the prosecutor had also stated that he didn't need him. He was not needed for the investigations. The judge is not part of the investigations. So how then do you conclude that he should be remanded, right? He should be remanded subject to the conclusion of the investigations, and you adjourn it for the period that you have been told that the investigations will take.
That's until when?
Until 30th.
But don't lawyers tell us that the law is in the bosom of the judge? And so